The moment the camera lights turn on, the theater feels unusually quiet, like everyone is holding their breath at the same time. Before anyone even knows his name, a small boy walks onto the massive stage, his steps slow but steady, his hands trembling just enough to show he's human. He looks too young to be standing there, too fragile for the pressure of thousands of eyes and millions more watching from home. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, arms crossed, not impressed yet. The audience murmurs. And in that exact second, before a single note is sung, you feel it in your chest. This is going to be one of those moments you remember. So before the story unfolds, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because moments like this deserve to be shared, remembered, and supported. His name is Miguel Santos, a 13-year-old boy from a small coastal town in the Philippines where life is simple but never easy. Miguel grew up in a tiny house with a rusted tin roof that rattled every time it rained. His father worked as a fisherman, leaving before sunrise and returning after dark, often with barely enough catch to sell. His mother took washing jobs from neighbors, her hands rough from soap and water. Music was never a luxury in their home, it was a comfort. An old radio sat on a cracked wooden shelf, and every evening, after a long day, it would play songs from another time. That's how Miguel met Elvis Presley, not in a classroom or online, but through static-filled melodies drifting through the air. He didn't understand the English words at first, but he understood the feeling. The pain, the hope, the fire. He would sing along softly, copying the voice, the emotion, the soul. At school, Miguel was shy. Other kids teased him for his old clothes and quiet nature. Some laughed when they found out he loved songs older than their grandparents. But when Miguel sang during school events, the teasing stopped, even if only for a moment. Teachers noticed how his voice carried something rare, raw emotion that couldn't be taught. Still, dreams are fragile when money is tight. There were nights Miguel thought about giving up singing altogether, especially when his parents argued quietly about bills they couldn't pay. Once, his father gently told him, "Singing is beautiful, Anik, but life is hard." Miguel nodded, but deep inside, he felt that singing wasn't just a dream, it was his way out, his way to help his family, his way to be heard. The decision to audition wasn't easy. They didn't even have money for proper travel. Neighbors helped, some offering small amounts, others offering prayers. His mother cried the night before they left, afraid and hopeful at the same time. On the plane, Miguel stared out the window, clutching a small necklace his grandmother had given him, whispering to himself that he would sing not just for him, but for everyone who believed when it made no sense to believe. Now, standing on the world's biggest talent show stage, Miguel introduces himself in a soft voice. Simon raises an eyebrow. "What are you going to sing?" he asks. Miguel swallows hard and answers, "An Elvis song." A few people chuckle. Simon smirks. "That's a big risk." Miguel nods. He knows. The music starts, slow and familiar, and for a split second, his voice shakes. His eyes close. Then something happens. The fear fades. The stage disappears. And the boy sings. What comes out of him doesn't sound like imitation. It sounds like truth. His voice is deep, rich, powerful beyond his years, carrying pain and passion that silence the room completely. The audience leans forward. Judges exchange looks. Simon's expression changes, not dramatically, but enough. Miguel's voice rises, filling every corner of the theater, telling a story of love, loss, and longing that feels impossible coming from someone so young. Some audience members wipe their eyes. His mother watches from backstage, hands shaking, tears falling freely. When the final note fades, there is a pause, a heavy, sacred pause, before the entire theater erupts. The crowd jumps to their feet. The applause is thunderous. Miguel stands frozen, unsure if it's real. The judges praise him one by one, calling him extraordinary, unforgettable. Then Simon speaks. He says he's seen thousands of singers, heard every style imaginable, but what Miguel has is something special, something you're born with. He pauses, reaches for the golden buzzer, and presses it. Gold rains down from the ceiling as Miguel drops to his knees, overwhelmed. His mother runs onto the stage, hugging him tightly. In that moment, it's not just a win on a TV show. It's years of struggle, sacrifice, and silent hope finally seen. It's proof that talent can come from anywhere, that dreams don't care where you're born, and that sometimes, a small voice can shake the world. Miguel's journey doesn't end there. It's only the beginning. But that moment reminds everyone watching that belief is powerful, that hard times don't define you, and that courage often looks like a scared kid stepping onto a big stage anyway. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Because you never know whose dream might be waiting for one chance, one song, one moment to shine. The lights in the theater feel hotter than the sun, and the silence is so loud it almost hurts. Before a single word is spoken, before a single note is sung, something invisible pulls everyone forward in their seats. A small boy walks onto the stage, and in that moment, nobody knows his name, nobody knows his past, but somehow everyone knows this is not going to be ordinary. His shoulders are tense, his eyes searching the crowd like he's looking for something familiar in a sea of strangers. The judges watch carefully, the audience whispers softly, and millions of people at home feel that strange pull, the feeling that says, "Don't blink, don't skip, don't scroll away." This is one of those moments. And before the story truly begins, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this don't come often, and supporting them helps bring more real, powerful moments like this to the world. The boy's name is Miguel Santos, and he is 13 years old. He comes from a small fishing village in the Philippines where mornings begin before the sun rises and nights end with tired bodies and hopeful prayers. His house is simple, built with wood darkened by time and a roof patched so many times that rain still finds a way inside. When storms come, buckets line the floor, and Miguel and his little sister laugh while moving them around, turning struggle into a game because that's how they learn to survive. His father, Ramon, leaves every morning with his fishing net slung over his shoulder, hoping the sea will be kind that day. Some days it is. Many days it isn't. His mother, Elena, washes clothes for neighbors, her hands cracked and sore, but her smile never fully fades. They don't have much, but they have each other, and in that house, love is louder than poverty. Music entered Miguel's life quietly. There was no piano, no guitar lessons, no fancy speakers. Just an old radio, bought secondhand, that crackled and buzzed as it searched for stations. One evening, when Miguel was very young, a song came through that radio, different from anything he had ever heard. The voice was strong, emotional, full of longing. It felt like the singer was telling a story straight from the heart. Miguel sat still, listening, not fully understanding the words, but completely understanding the feeling. That voice belonged to Elvis Presley, though Miguel wouldn't remember the name at first. He only remembered how the music made him feel less alone. From that night on, Miguel listened whenever he could. After school, after chores, after long days when his parents were too tired to talk, he would sit near the radio and sing softly along. At first, it was just copying sounds, trying to match the notes. Over time, something deeper grew. He wasn't just singing anymore, he was feeling every word, every rise and fall. Music became his escape, his safe place, the one thing that made the world feel bigger than his village and kinder than his circumstances. School was not always kind to Miguel. He was quiet, often lost in thought, and his clothes were hand-me-downs, faded and worn. Some classmates teased him, calling him strange for liking old songs instead of what everyone else listened to. Others laughed when they heard him practicing Elvis songs, asking why he sang like someone from another century. Miguel never fought back. He just smiled shyly and kept his head down. But during school programs, when teachers asked him to sing, everything changed. The laughter stopped. The room grew silent. Even the kids who teased him watched with wide eyes as his voice filled the hall. For those few minutes, Miguel wasn't poor or quiet or different. He was powerful. Despite this, life kept reminding him how fragile dreams could be. There were nights when his parents whispered about money, about debts, about how to pay for food and school supplies. Miguel pretended to sleep, but he heard everything. Guilt settled heavy in his chest. Was it selfish to dream of singing when his family needed so much? One night, his father sat beside him and spoke gently, not to crush his dream, but to prepare him for reality. He said life doesn't always allow dreams to come true, no matter how beautiful they are. Miguel nodded, understanding the fear behind those words. But deep inside, something refused to let go. Singing wasn't just a dream. It felt like a calling. The idea to audition for a big talent show came from a teacher who believed in him more than Miguel believed in himself. She had seen many students over the years, but Miguel was different. When she told his parents, they were scared. Traveling would cost money they didn't have. Failing on such a big stage could break their son's heart. But they also saw the light in Miguel's eyes when he talked about music. After many sleepless nights, they agreed to try. The village came together in a way Miguel would never forget. Neighbors offered small amounts of money, some just coins, others food for the journey. One woman said she couldn't give money but promised to pray every day. Miguel carried all of it with him, not in his pockets, but in his heart. The night before leaving, his mother hugged him tightly, crying quietly so he wouldn't hear. Miguel pretended not to notice, but he felt every tear. The journey was long and overwhelming. Airports, crowds, bright lights, everything felt like another world. Miguel stayed close to his parents, clutching the necklace his grandmother had given him years ago, whispering short prayers under his breath. When they finally arrived at the audition venue, the line seemed endless. Talented people everywhere, singing, stretching their voices, looking confident. Doubt crept in. Miguel wondered if he truly belonged there. Backstage, waiting for his turn, his hands shook. He thought about his village, his family, the radio, the storms, the laughter, the sacrifices. He told himself that no matter what happened, he would sing honestly. That was all he could control. Now, on the stage, he introduces himself softly. The judges smile politely. Simon Cowell asks about his song choice. When Miguel says he will sing Elvis, there's a flicker of surprise and skepticism. It's a bold choice. A dangerous one. Miguel knows it. The music begins. The first note trembles. Fear tries to take over. Then Miguel closes his eyes, just like he did at home by the radio. The stage fades away. The judges fade away. All that remains is the song and the feeling it carries. His voice grows stronger, deeper, richer. It's not imitation. It's interpretation. He pours every struggle, every hope, every quiet tear into the melody. The audience leans forward, completely silent. The judges exchange glances. Simon's expression changes slowly, almost unwillingly. As Miguel sings, it feels like time slows down. His voice tells a story far bigger than his age, far older than his years. People in the crowd feel something stir inside them, memories, regrets, dreams they once had. His mother watches from the side, her hands covering her mouth, tears streaming down her face. His father stands frozen, pride and disbelief mixing in his eyes. The final note hangs in the air. Silence. Then applause explodes like a wave crashing against the shore. The entire audience stands. Miguel opens his eyes, shocked. He doesn't know what to do. He bows awkwardly, his knees shaking. The judges speak, praising his voice, his control, his emotion. Then Simon talks. He says talent like this cannot be taught. He says Miguel didn't just sing a song, he told a story. Then he reaches for the golden buzzer. When it's pressed, gold confetti rains down, and Miguel's world shatters and rebuilds at the same time. He drops to his knees, crying openly now. His parents rush onto the stage, holding him tightly. In that moment, all the fear, all the doubt, all the struggle feels worth it. But this moment isn't just about a golden buzzer. It's about hope. It's about believing when the odds say don't. It's about a boy from a small village reminding the world that greatness doesn't come from comfort, it comes from courage. Miguel's journey is only beginning, and challenges still lie ahead, but now he knows something he didn't before. His voice matters. His story matters. As the camera pulls back and the gold continues to fall, viewers everywhere feel inspired. If a boy with nothing but a voice and a dream can stand on that stage and move millions, then maybe their own dreams aren't impossible either. And that is why stories like this matter. So if this story touched your heart, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that miracles often start small, with one brave step and one honest song.